we go. And we're in. Let's just bring the closer. Oh, to see. We're there or thereabouts. Good evening. Frugal Outdoors, Brian Hayward, Landlocked Sea Fishing. Good evening, guys. It's, am I on? Yeah, I'm in a little bit early. Just wanted to make sure that everything's working. Can someone just check that it looks okay, sounds okay, and give us a quick comment if it is, in case I've got something wrong. Kev Cooper, good evening, young man. I don't feel young. Yeah. Wait for everyone to pile in. Everyone start piling in. All the bits and pieces will start coming up. Brian Hayward, Kev Cooper, John Humphreys. Good evening, guys. Conrad Gray, Steve Newell. Good evening, buddy. Have you been able to get out much recently? Yes, I have. I have been filming. I have been doing lots of stuff. The break has been intentional. I'll explain a little bit as we go along, but yeah, work's been manic. That just looks a little bit cacked, doesn't it? Is it? Oh, just make sure it's right. I keep doing it, it's too much. How's that? Am I all sort of tilted over? I'll lean that way. Yeah, I've been out. I was out this morning. Blank this morning, but I was out first thing this morning. So in answer to your question, Steve, yeah, I have been out. I've been out loads. John Berry, Gary McBlain, Martin Smith, evening, buddy. Yeah. Lee Taylor, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. This whole thing's only possible because of the generosity of Lee and his support for the channel. Very much appreciated. Pat O'Malley, Tony H. Stickling, good evening, guys. Stuart Harris, good evening, buddy. Colin Mac. Right, I struggle with pronouncing some of these surnames sometimes. Mace Kern? I don't. Someone help me with that. Give me it in phonetics so I understand exactly how to pronounce that, because I can't see that myself. Colin, no disrespect, buddy, but I can't pronounce your surname. Paul Setford, good evening. Phil Chambers, Thomas Hill, good evening. Yeah, good luck to everyone with the draw. This is the kind of prize you either desperately want or it's not for you. Definitely. It's either 100% on your bucket list, 110% on your wish list, 150% you just got to have it done in your lifetime, or you're not interested. It's as simple as that. Me personally, I think it's amazing. Wayne Swatton, good evening, buddy. Inglorious Fishing, oi oi. Phil Carpenter, yes. Michael Simpson, yeah, it's all good. All good. You're only as old as the woman you feel. She's the same age as me. What is the prize? Pay attention. It's the prize. It's not just any old prize. If I was to search fishing, prize, giveaway, any of those keywords, this would come out as absolutely the top prize. I don't care whether someone's offering rods, reel. This is a bucket list prize. This is the chance to go out, skippered by the skipper out of Oban on the boat that started the whole common skate fishing. If anyone's watched the other videos, the guy's name's just it was right on the tip of my tongue and then it completely escaped me. Lived in Norfolk, had a fishing shop in Norfolk. Someone help me out here, give me the guy's name. Even he filmed on Laura Dawn, on the Laura Dawn 1, and now they're on Laura Dawn 2. Common skate, £200 fish, baby. Last time I went with Lee, kind invitation by Lee, I had 5 fish and we lost 3 or 4. We had 3 on the lines at any one time, and they range from £77 to 182. And Lee's trumped that. If anyone's seen his social media recently, he caught a £188 common skate on a children's rod with just like light tackle, 2 3/4 hours to get it in. All credit to the guy. It's we were using heavy rigs when we were fishing. So what's the prize for? It's for 2 people, so there'll be 2 names today, to go, all expenses paid on the day, boat trip, bait, kit, tuition, and filmed. All they need to do is get there on the day, and we're going to help out any way we can. So if there's a collection to be done, if there's some assistance with travelling to be done, anything that we can do to make this happen for the people that are going, once the names are drawn out, we'll start making hard and fast plans. The dates are on the competition draw. I'll put them in the description for this as well. But we're going to be picking names. Pete Mosley, good evening. Am I barred from this? No, you're not, Wayne. No. Fill your boots, mate. I know you've won a competition before. The usual premise that I like on competitions, you can't enter the next competition, because if someone won a prize one month and then the following month, that give everyone a chance, basically. So we usually ask winners to skip out one competition, but this is the competition of the year for the channel. This is the biggie. This is the biggie, and you're more than welcome. Nick Mann, good evening, buddy. John Wilson. That was on the tip of my tongue. Do you know when you just get that mental block? It just wasn't coming out. It just wasn't coming out. John Wilson. If anyone wants to watch an historic film of people catching common skate on a boat, there's a really nice film with John Wilson when he took his daughter to Oban and fished for common skate. Shaky Angler. Jamie, good evening, buddy. How did you get on last night? I was tempted to chuck the gear in the van and come and join you, because I've got bait in the freezer, everything's prepped and ready to go. I just saw that forecast and I just didn't fancy it, mate. So all credit to you for giving it a go. You thinking of John? Yeah, I was thinking of John Wilson. I just couldn't get the name out. Pete Newell, good evening. Steve Newell. Pete Newell, Steve Newell. I'm all good. So Essex foraging and fishing, excuse me, got a burp there somewhere, not happening. It's like a sneeze. As soon as you think about it, it goes away. Yeah, I'm all good. Work's been busy. Fishing's been rubbish. But yeah, it's all good. I'm good. Yeah, wait, seriously, this is like the annual, it's not like the monthly competition. This is the annual, this is the biggie. This is the one that I'm really excited about. Just did up the curry, ready to watch. I had roasty dinner, and Jasper the fishing hound always has some roasty dinner as well, so he's been going nuts. And Owen Morris, good evening. Right, I think that's possibly all the hellos. There's 53 people online. I had a quick look earlier, not cheating, just had a quick look to get a feel. Right, so I'll give everyone a couple of minutes. If you haven't entered for April, smash an entry in. Just smash it in, get it in. 2 minutes. I know this is going to fill up all the comments now with late entries and all the rest of it, but I'm happy for that to happen while I dig into the computer now and set it up ready to do the draw. Because it's not really a spectator sport. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm just into an online tool, if you like, an app thing. It is Comment Picker. It's designed for picking competition prizes at YouTube. I've got no influence to this. I can't make it do anything. I can't choose the winner. So I think I've got everything in. See how many entries we've got, and just make sure include replies to comments, specific test. Yeah, and we're all there. So believe it or not, we've only got, because this is a very specific competition, I understand that, 98 entries, 98 genuine proper entries with the parameters, with the keyword and on the correct video. Some people have put it in the wrong video. Don't be putting it in this video because it won't count. It's got to be commented on the video for the competition or it won't find you. So I'm just going to give everyone a couple of minutes just to do what they've got to do. Yeah, so people are asking, I have been deliberately quiet. So we're in the doldrums at the moment. There's people along the south coast, that's what we sort of call it for fishing at this time of year. We've got the May rot to look forward to. Those that know, when all the weed. I went fishing this morning for a pair of hours on the River Hamble to try and winkle out a bass. I know the bass are there. I had decent bait, good rigs, proven mark spot, and just got completely blanket weeded out. It was either riding up the line or my entire bait was coming back just literally like, it's like lettuce, isn't it? Wet lettuce, just covering it. It was pointless. I didn't even fish any more of the flood. It came to high tide. Instead of fishing through high tide and the initial drop, I packed the kit away, chucked it in the van, come back. Did some odd jobs for Mrs. W. But yeah, fishing has been difficult. And I've got a fisherman's tale for after this. Quite a good one. It's going to be on one of the films coming up. It's going to be like an outtake. It's not going to be the subject of a film. It's going to be an outtake, and there might be some bleeping in it, and I'll explain why in a minute. So I'm just going to refresh everything. Got 101 genuine comments. Give about another 30 seconds. I'll give it till 5 past. It's 4 minutes past now. As soon as that clicks 5 past, I'll do the draw. So we're only about 5 minutes later than what I said would be. And what have we got planned for this year? Loads, absolute loads. Species, venues, collaborations, adventures. There's a little teaser. We've got some adventures sort of in the making. We've got the competition to fulfill and travel up to Scotland for that. That's going to be a cracking. That is. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. So we're there or thereabouts. So I am just going to refresh, and there has been some new entries, and then it gives me the option to start, and this will start randomly picking, and it will pick a name. So the first winner is Simon Smith. Congratulations. Don't know if the camera's picking that up. I will take a screenshot of this just to make sure that we've captured it properly. So Simon Smith, congratulations. Take a picture, and we get the option to pick another winner. So this is for 2 people, 2 places. And I'm going to go again. So it gives me the option to pick another winner. So Simon Smith. And see which one's the next one. And someone that's simply got their name up as Chris. Chris, and there's no surname for that, obviously people's names on YouTube. So Simon Smith and Chris are the 2 winners. Take a screenshot. I'm going to pick 2 more winners. I'm not going to show them to camera, just in case, for whatever reason, people either decide they can't, won't, or it's just not possible to go. And I think it'd be a little bit unfair to show those names on screen, but they would be contacted if anyone else fell through. And screenshotting. And take one more. Okay. So I've taken 4 names from that competition entry. The first 2 you've seen, the second 2 I've screenshotted. So yeah, congratulations. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Now I realise there may be some disappointed people out there, because like I said, this was an either all or nothing sort of deal for people that either really wanted it and wanted it quite badly, or it wasn't of any interest to them. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. So with Lee's permission, if there is enough interest, and we'll do it from comments on here, if there is enough interest towards the end of the year, and we're talking September time, Lee will correct me if there's not any bookings available, we have the opportunity to possibly charter the entire boat anyway. So if you haven't been successful in a competition entry, we could do a channel charter. We could just charter the entire boat for the day. You know, I would pay for it, cover it, and then we'd split the difference between all of us. And as a channel enterprise, we could decide whether we wanted to fish more or less, and we'd speak to Lee to see what is possible and what he thinks is the best way to go. But there's the opportunity for a channel charter as well, and I'd like to keep that conversation either in the community channel, if people want to comment in there and have an ongoing discussion, or we'll capture it all in these comments as well. So if there was enough interest to do a charter, I would happily organise that via Lee, and we could look to do that as well. Staying on track, congratulations to the winners. Please get in contact with me as soon as possible. Facebook, Instagram, community channel, any way you want to start banging the jungle drums. We're going to get a dialogue going. We'll probably get a group chat either on WhatsApp or in writing, text, telephone, however you want to communicate, and we'll start making some plans, because COVID aside, we need to plan out what's going to happen on the day, and how things are going to work and what we're going to do. So I'm going to try and scroll through and catch up with some of the questions now. Let's have a look. Just dished up the curry, so I know I've read that. John Humphrey, sorry buddy, I've only just seen your comment. It would have been on the video that was the competition entry. Not sure if I did try, but not sure. Kev Cooper, I'm pretty sure you would have been in, mate. Drum rolls, how'd you enter? No, don't ask me right before I do it. AD Colwell, good evening. Shaky Angler, Jamie, yeah, good luck to everyone. People started asking questions after I'd done it, hadn't they? And we've done the draw. We've done the draw, fair and square. All entries were in, just over 100 entries. Surprised not anything. To be honest, through outdoors, I knew this was going to be a very niche competition. People either really wanted it or it wasn't for them. It's not the same as like a reel or a rod or a seat box or a pair of waders or something that would be for everyone. I think this would only suit certain people. Yeah, congratulations to the winners. Obviously all the congratulation messages coming through. Chris, yes, Open Fisher, Lee, thank you for commenting. Simon and Chris, so we just look forward to hearing from them. Well done, Chris. Simon, Chris. Congratulations, guy. Yeah, I would be a little bit gutted, to be honest. Me personally, if my name hadn't come out, because this would have been one that I would have really, really wanted. So Pete's interested in charter. Looking forward to the video. The video is going to be interesting because it's going to be a collaboration of. I've got a cameraman on the day. I've got a professional filmmaker. Stu's coming up with us, so I'm going to take Stu up, and we're both going to film it. So we're going to get different shots, different angles, and collaborate on the editing and all that kind of stuff, and see if we can really, not only just to give the competition prize, you know, the justification that it truly deserves. So myself and Stu are going to film, edit, and put this film together. And it's going to be a good record of the day for the people that have won. Let's get it all right. Look forward to it. Well done to the winners group. Yes, mate. So I'll be in touch very soon. I'll try and get contact as soon as I can, and then we'll start making plans and we'll look at what we're going to do. The curry didn't end up on the floor. Alan, good evening, buddy. I haven't spoken to you for a while. I've missed Alan. Alan. Well done to the winners. Good evening. Good to see you back. Nick Stacey, good evening to you, fella. Thank you very much for the kind words. So I'll keep an eye on the comments. Fisherman's Tale. So Wayne Comben has very kindly taken me under his wing. He's a very experienced boat angler, knows the Solent intimately, along with Jamie Ayres, a shaky angler, and we've got a little bit of a pitch for Jamie in a minute. But Wayne's taking me under his wing, so he's teaching me some stuff about the boat, you know, how to set the boat up, how to drift fish, you know, and hone my skills, anchoring in deeper water, all those kind of things. It's been really appreciated. And one of the things I wanted to target this year was spur dogs. So Wayne has taken me out twice to a good mark to catch spur dogs. The first time I didn't hook into one, and you can see the film on the channel, but I had two reasonable size eels, and Wayne had a stunning spur dog on that day. But we went out again recently, and this is why it's going to end up in the outtakes. I hooked into two and lost both. and to say I was devastated is an understatement. So loads of preparation work. Wayne had gone out of his way to for the mark, the bait, the rigs, help me set up where we're going to fish, the exact tides, state of tide, weather window. We both took a day off work, short notice, because it was perfect, and it was perfect. I hooked two and lost two, and the second one was big. When I say big, it was swimming like it didn't realise it had been hooked. Could have possibly been a taupe, but there were very definitely spur dogs there. I lost it. That clip will end up in one of the outtakes, or I might put together a set of outtakes this year to show at Christmas. So there's a little teaser for something that's possible. Another thing is we've been talking about adventures. So the Scotland trip's going to be a bit of an adventure for us southerners, going all the way up. We might get a nosebleed, it's that far up. But I don't know what kind of interest there would be from regular followers of the channel for like weekend adventures, like where we go away for the weekend. So maybe 2 or 3, a small group of us, gonna go camping, and either take the boat, fish from shore and boat, don't take the boat, just go shore, weekend on Chesil Beach. I don't know if you're allowed to stay overnight now. There's new regulations and car parking and all that kind of stuff. Or camp nearby. So we're looking at like adventure type weekends as well, where all fishing based, that is the complete bias. And some new species for this year. So there's some species that I haven't shown at all last year that are definitely planned for this year. The most exciting of which, and possibly the hardest or most difficult, will be the stingray. So we know where they'll be, we know how to fish for them. Actually winkling one out is pretty difficult, but I would like to target, to the point of catching one and putting it on camera this year, a stingray. And if possible, a shark. I would like to catch a shark. Let's see what comments we've got, just so I can catch up. Pete Newell's not disappointed. I'd be devastated. So definitely interesting. Yeah, so I think the charter might be a good idea, and I'd very much like to talk to Lee more about that, because it's something I hadn't really considered much, but if there's enough interest, it would definitely be worth doing. Yeah, I think it's going to be a particularly good film, especially because it's going to be one where I can concentrate solely on the filming aspect, because it's someone else's fishing day. There's no pressure for me to capture something and to show it on camera. So that takes that element away from it. It gives me a chance to focus purely on capturing the time and the moment, and having Stu to bounce ideas off of, and to get different angles and to work together, him doing his pieces, me doing mine. I think it's got the opportunity to be a really good film, one that would be definitely worth watching, I think. Dean, you 100% for a charge. See if we can catch something for a change. Anyone that's fishing at the moment, I feel your pain. I really do feel your pain. Spur dog would be even better though. Jaws of the Solent. I think Taupe take that title, mate. But yeah, spur dogs. I still want to see. I want to hold one. I want to catch one. I want to have a look at their eyes, and I want to look at their gnashes. They're amazing creatures, aren't they? It's just like a dog, smooth hound on steroids with artillery. With that great big spur on it. Craig Hellams, good evening, buddy. Doing a weekend thing. Yeah, Might even come your way, Nick, because you know, there's opportunities your way as well, isn't there? We've got to get out and get fishing at some point. Obviously, COVID's put a stop to that. So going west towards the Brighton way, you know, and past Chichester, you know, Chichester and onwards, some cracking fishing in that direction. Yeah, Craig Hallens would definitely like to see a shark. There's options there. There are options. Been looking at it. Been doing a little bit of research. Bit of bad press recently with certain aspects. I'm not even going to go into that kind of realms of discussing that. But if I was to do it, and it would be a first for me, I'd want to make sure it's done correctly. You know, done right. How about the sand sole? Looks like and tastes like a Dover sole. A sand sole. That sounds like rhyming slang. Is that Cockney rhyming slang for something else, Alan? Are you trying to trick me here, buddy? I need some detail. A sand sole. Is that the same as an AR sole? I don't know. Plenty good spots to fish here in Wales. See, Wales, for me, that's like the sparkling light over in the distance. Cracking ray marks, you catch tope from the shore, and there's so much opportunity for Wales, and I like Wales. Wales is a cracking place. I visited it quite a lot because I was on a ship with a Welsh designation, so we used to visit Cardiff and Swansea quite a lot, which I know isn't all of Wales, and we used to go to Bangor quite regularly. But yeah, I love Wales. It's a cracking place. I'd like to fish more there, to be honest, because it's not a million miles away, and it's quite an easy travel from me if you go in the motorway routes. So Wales is definitely on the cards, and I definitely need a guide because it's a long way to go with no direction. You know, it's nice to find marks for yourself, and it's nice to find these places. But if you're going to travel 4 hours to get somewhere, you need a little bit of help with pointers, with tides and baits and rigs and stuff. Stingray at Leap, yeah. If I want one or not would be cool, but quite scary. So Dean Newell, so Stingray at Leap, that area is where I'm going to target. It's not Leap, it's a little bit, probably half a mile away from Leap. I've got to get a like a landing pad, like a tarpaulin, but about a metre square, metre and a half square. And I've been looking very carefully at how you have to handle those fish because they are dangerous fish, and it is a bit intimidating, but I think it's possible. I don't want to do what some people do where they cut barbs and they wrap tape and do all those kind of things. I think there's gentler kind of ways of doing that. But if it's beached onto a tarpaulin and then slid up the beach, you know, you can keep it wet and it's not going to damage the fish and all those kind of things. I think it'd be easier to return. John Humphreys, thank you for the competitions. You're more than welcome, buddy. I'll make no secret that the channel runs cost neutral. If it generates any revenue, I give it back. And if you're wondering why there wasn't a monthly competition last month, it's because there was very little revenue, because I haven't been putting anything out. But the revenue that did come in will carry over, and I'll put it to another competition. So the channel runs cost neutral. It doesn't make any money. Everything that comes in, I give back. And then you could probably ask, well, why do you bother, you know, with money coming in? Why not switch all that kind of stuff off and all that kind of bits and pieces? I think it adds an element to the channel. And when people realise that if they are watching an advert, or if they have to skip an advert, yeah, I know, I skip adverts myself when I watch stuff. All of that gets given back. Operating fish in the future, that really nice. That sounds wrongly. I'm sorry. I've got a picture of me in a very pair of tight shorts, big rubber gloves, smelling the fish. What's going wrong there? That's just not right. Anyone that's reading the comments as well will understand. That's east. Never. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's good. It's because I'm facing south. I'm not making excuses. I got it wrong. I'm rubbish. Hope when we're able to get down to the van at New Milton, we'll give you a shout. Yes. So Nick, obviously I've come your way for fishing. That's where I caught the black bream. I was desperate to get a black bream on camera from the shore last year, and despite how difficult that was on the day, we managed it, didn't we? Reciprocate, that's the word I'm looking for. Come and fish down this way. We're getting close to smoothhound season, so if you fancy a night's fishing here, if we can get in before the May rot, but as the smoothhounds arrive, come down here, come smoothhound fishing. I'll take you to one of the local marks, see if we can get a couple of smoothhounds on camera. So Nick Man, yeah, reciprocate your offer, mate. If you want to come this way, let's go smoothhound fishing. That's very sporting fishing for the Solent. I do enjoy smoothhound fishing. It's cracking. No trick, mate, it is real. And new species I only found about them today. All right, so what's that? The sand sole. The sand sole. I'll have to look it up. I've not heard of it before. I caught a sole as a kid once, local, totally unexpected. Netley, if anyone knows the area, 2 3/4 pound from the beach. It was a stunner. How's the fishing wagon mark? Right, so Pete, I don't know if you know, so there's 2 videos that came out for the fishing wagon. I've been waiting for the lighter evenings. I lost 3 films worth. What I was doing was filming it all and then editing it, and then gonna just put it out once a month or every other month and follow me along. I use the fishing wagon a lot, and there's been lots of modifications, and it is cracking. I love it absolutely to bits. It totally supports everything I want to do. I lost 3 lots of filming, so I had the choice of either undoing what I'd done to refilm it, or when the weather turned nicer, which it has, to be honest, do a catch-up video and then continue, because I've got plans for it again. So it's got big off-roady, chunky type cross-climate tyres. I can't remember what name it is. They're not the super like off-roady ones, but they give good grip on slipways and that for if I'm launching the boat or gravelly roads and stuff. So they're not totally off-road bias. The van sits quite high anyway. It's got a lot of ground clearance. All the flooring's done. The batteries are in. The solar's on the roof. The hammock is attachable, detachable. I can sleep in the van, and a few other bits and pieces, and it works out really well. Oh, and I've got a front mounted and rear mounted tow bar. So I've got a tow bar at the back, tow bar at the front, and the tow bar at the front is an absolute godsend for tight spaces and manoeuvring a boat around. And it's quite clever because I can launch the boat at night on my own. Picture a normal tow bar at the back of a van. It's quite hard because there's no windows and you're on your mirrors, and I used to have a camera at the back. With the front mounted tow bar, it's biased to the left and not in the middle. So when I'm launching in a slipway at night, bear in mind I'll be on my own or recovering it on my own, my driver's headlight looks all the way down the side of the boat to the water, and I've got clear view down the side of the boat all the way to the water, and it's very manoeuvrable. It's double the manoeuvrability of having it at the back, plus you can see where you're going. It is really, really good. I'll have to do a catch-up video and showcase everything that's going on with the van. So the fishing wagon is a star. It's good on fuel. I can stand up in it. If it's honking down rain, I can chuck on my gear and get in it, get changed into dry clothes. I've got my cooker in there. I can carry a barbecue. Beer. I can carry beer in the van. I can sleep in the van. Yeah, it's brilliant. As a fishing wagon, it's brilliant. The sand salt is yellow in colour and speckled like sand, and lives mainly on sandy beaches. Owen Morris. I've never even heard of them before. I'm going to have to try and catch one now, aren't I? Sandbanks. That sounds like a plan. I wonder if they got sand salt at Sandbanks or Bournemouth. Lots of sandy beaches down in Bournemouth. Tough Bets, good evening, buddy. I hope you're well. Casters, Fishing Wales. Ian Hillier, and he's still doing the lure rod when funds allow. Yes, it would be. Yes, it would be. So the lure rod and reel combo, Abu Black Max, and I've been looking at it because it's definitely going to be, that is the next competition. I'm definitely going to do it. We're not quite lure season as well. So when I mentioned it, I might have preempted that a little bit early, because I've had a couple of chucks, and I was talking to another guy that I know today who's an avid lure fishing fan where I live, you know, Hamble River, Itchen Test, Southampton Waters, all around that sort of area. And it's still a little bit early from the shore. So the Abu Black Max will be the next prize. Yeah, Nick, yeah, absolutely, you're more than welcome. Daniel Roberts, good evening, buddy, and all the best to everyone. Sort of caught up on questions at the moment, so sort of little teasers. What's changed recently? I've had a big clear out, but then I bought stuff again. I've now got, I think, this whole year's shore gear prepped, rigged, ready. Pen Mag 3 reels for this year to showcase the difference between last year's fixed ball, this year for the multipliers. Fishing with the Century fire blades, really nice rods. Everyone knows my thoughts on the bags they come in, and quite aptly, because it's worth mentioning on this, and I'm sure with the people that are here, I got a pair of Ian Gold's padded rod bags for the Centuries to go in. So it's quite apt that I just got those, and I was following the last posts on Facebook from Ian Gold. Quite upsetting, to be honest, because you could see there was so much fight left in the gentleman. He had so much left to give the fishing community. I couldn't help but get a little bit upset by his passing, and that's genuine. I don't pretend to know the fella. I never met him, but I've read so much. I've had from articles from years ago, from reading and hearing, and just seeing everything that he managed to achieve and what he did. Development of, I've got a Bigaloo, you know, so it's just like everything about it, everything just absolutely struck me that it's someone that's been taken too early, and we all know someone like that. But it feels like a genuine loss. Feels like a genuine loss. So my deepest sympathies to his family. Yeah, and all a little bit sad, really. Don't want to end on a sad note, but I felt like at some point today I wanted to mention that. But yeah, Ian Gold's passing. Too early. Far too early. And we're going to do a lure fishing video. Yes. So lure fishing by its nature is quite dynamic, and when I lure fish along the river, especially the Hamble, I tend to walk 20-30 yards, do the clock face, and then walk down again, clock face. Maybe after a couple of walks change lures, you know, and really work the water. And then obviously you've got the return trip, so you walk away from the car fishing all the time. Don't miss anything. It may not look fishy, it may not look like it will hold fish, but especially bass, they can be in some very bizarre places. And when I say that, people concentrate on casting out from the shoreline. The first and last cast you should do are parallel to the shoreline, within a foot of water. If there's water on a bass's back, he's feeding, and he's happy as long as he hasn't been disturbed. So when you clock your casts, and when I say that, you know, you do different angles and then move on, the first and last cast should be parallel to the beach. Where you're going to walk to next, you should have cast to parallel with the beach, within a foot of the water, within a foot of the tide line. I've caught bass on the Hamble River from a boat, casting the lure onto the shore, and deliberately put it onto a shore. So you use a weedless lure, put it onto the shore, and as it crosses the water, the bass will take it within the first 6 to 10 inches. So we all concentrate on casting out, they're usually very close in. And that is, if I was to give one tip for lure fishing, is not to give any piece of water. Everyone looks at it and thinks, oh, that'd be deep, that would be this, I can see a flow, I can see. Cast parallel to the shoreline. Seriously, absolute. I think I've caught more bass on the handball in the first 2 to 3 feet of water than I have in any of the deep parts. And it's only about 12, 14 deep at the deepest parts anyway. Andy Cole, good evening, buddy. Listen to a bit side. Hardcore Fisherman, good evening, mate. If I've gone quiet, it's because I'm reading. I struggle to, do two things at the same time. And if I've got to breathe, read and talk, then it gets really complicated. Any idea when you'll do a boat fishing session showing how to use the ordinary ring with the triangle? So that's one of the plans. So I've got a book. I run a little notebook, and if I get an idea for something I want to do, it gets scribbled down in the book, and every now and then I pick it up and I make notes, and I try and be true to what I've tried to think through and plan. The ordinary ring with triangle. The triangle is the piece that everyone recognises the ordinary ring. Everyone recognises the shortfalls of using one. I don't know many people that use the triangle. So I've had the triangles made up. I've got some spare. My brother makes them and they're on eBay. If you look for ordinary triangle on eBay, I'm pretty sure it's my brother's that he's made. And it's not a sales pitch. I'd just like to help people, genuinely like to help people. So the ordinary triangle, that annoying bit. So you anchor, you lay out your rope, and your rope's down, then you got your chain, and then you got your anchor, and the ordinary buoy comes all the way up underneath the bow of the boat, and it disappears on your blind side. So your steering console's on the right hand side, and the ordinary buoy ends up on the left hand side, pushed hard up underneath the boat because the wind and tide are pushing it to the bow. That's the whole point of why you've anchored like that, so that you sit in the tide with the wind, and you're sheltered behind the cuddy. With the triangle, you can position it exactly where you want to, but you can position it a boat and a half length in front of the boat, and the buoy stays there. So at any point, you can see it. Plus, it helps the anchor to stay set. It's another shock absorber that stops the anchor from being pulled free. You've got less chance of tripping your anchor. And it's a really, really useful piece of kit that not a lot of people use. Some people use a stick, like a broom handle, cut down, and they have some knotting arrangement. The ordinary triangle, you just thread it, put it over the triangle, pull it tight, that's it set. And then when you come to retrieve it, you just pull it over the triangle and it's free. You've got the triangle in your hand and the rope in the other. It's a really, really useful piece of kit, and I want to share it. So the video will come, and the video will come with the whole thing. So anchor, release mechanism. I don't use tie wraps, so I've got a release mechanism on my anchor. How to set the anchor for tripping. Why I chose the length of chain that I've got. The rope that I've got. The triangle, the ring, and how to use it. I know other people have done it. It will just be my personal variation on how I do it, and then you can pick and choose whether you like some aspects of what I've done, other aspects of someone else, or just to see it from a different perspective. That's pretty much what the whole channel's about, to be honest. Are you going to do a members channel, as a lot of other YouTubers have done? Andy Cole, I think I've jumped a couple of comments, so I'll go back, but it just caught me. Are you going to do a members channel, as a lot of other YouTubers have done? I don't know what that is, buddy. So if anyone wants to enlighten me as to what a members channel is that one where only... I don't know. I don't understand what that is. If you can explain it to me, then I'll be able to answer. So I've answered the triangle one. Oh, Alan, sorry buddy. If I didn't quite break that as softly as I could have done, I do apologise. I just assume that everyone that would be in our circle of our hobby would have already heard. There's a very touching, moving, if you look on Facebook, his wife has posted on Facebook. I was following Ian's last posts on Facebook when he was in that hospital. I don't really want to. I don't even know the guy. I just feel really emotional about it. It's just a little bit upsetting, you know. I think it's because he's done so much. He's done so much, and for what we enjoy doing. Steve Newell, question, but don't know if you know the answer. Been using whole hardbacks, hoping for hounds, but within 10 to 20 minutes, they're coming in either hollow or shell off and eating crabs, starfish. Right, right. So crabs very rarely eat crabs. With hardback crabs, I use them live or dead. I use them live, but they work as well frozen. If you freeze them and they're still frozen when you get to the mark, still put them on. If they're coming back hollow and been eaten out from inside, that's like sand fleas or you know, that kind of thing, because a crab can't get inside a hardback crab. It can't break the shell. It can't get inside. It's going to have to be something like sand fleas or something like that. It's a little bit early still for the hounds. So the small residential ones are here all the time. So if you're catching small smooth hounds, up to 3.5 pound, myself and Stu, Sweet Corn Kid, we had a few a couple of weeks ago. Stu outfished me on that day, say no more. Yeah, he had three smooth hounds and a spotted ray. He had a stunning day. He had a cracking day. Excuse me, up to about £3. They're the residential ones. The bigger ones haven't really moved in yet. And I think what brings them in is when the crabs move inshore, when they start to peel. So a lot of the crabs are still offshore in deeper water. You get harbour crabs and some hardback crabs, but the other crabs come in to peel and molt and to mate. And I think that brings hounds in with them, but they smash and take hardback crabs. I think it's a little bit early for smooth hounds at the moment. Maybe another week or two. We've had this cold snap, and the water temperature's still quite cold. Yeah, so coming back hollow, I think that's sand fleas that's doing that. The best I had the other day was in less than 3 feet of water on crab bait. So that's pretty good going then, Owen. Was that a sizable bass that you had on crab? I'll be interested to know. John Humphreys, we're all about sharing, aren't we, buddy? If it helps anyone. I bet you there's a lot of lure fishermen, or there are lure fishermen, that have never thought about casting parallel to where they're stood. And if anyone tries it, and you've tried it on a couple of marks over a couple of sessions, I guarantee you're going to pick up a fish doing it. You're more likely to catch a fish like that than trying to go as far as you can, as deep as you can. Steve Newell, fish bait's coming back totally untouched. It's dire out there at the moment. Used to fresh out, but caught most of my bass in a couple of feet of water. Can you do a video on boat anchoring? Yes, I will. I am going to do one. It's on my plan of things to do. I'm also going to do a showcase of launch and recovery single-handed using a front-mounted tow bar, because a lot of people, I think, are intimidated about launching their boat. When they get to the boat ramp or the slipway, it's quite chaotic in the summer and it's all very intimidating. Front-mounted is a revelation. It seriously is. You've travelled an hour to get to the sea. When you get there, put the jockey wheel down, spin your car or van round, hitch it up on the front mount, and you can drive it like you drive normally. None of this, but also it's more manoeuvrable. And I can't demonstrate it here. You need like a little toy car on a trailer to show it. But reversing with the wheels at the front and the fixed wheels at the back, you've got to swing the front vehicle round a lot for not much movement of the boat. As soon as you spin that vehicle around and you're using the front wheels in direct control of the boat and the back wheels are almost stationary, you've got a lot more manoeuvrability. You can literally put it on a dime. You really can. It's really, really good. Whelks maybe. Been pulling in baits that have been out for a while with whelks on. I don't think whelks would be emptying a crab. I don't think. Sea lice. Yeah, and we don't get octopus in the numbers that you get up there. It amazes me the amount of octopus you get up in Scotland, Lee. We don't get octopus in that sort of numbers here. And I think if an octopus gets hold of a crab, I think they smash it to bits, don't they? I don't think they sort of do the drilling in. I think whelks can drill in a hole to eat whatever they're eating. And I have seen more whelks this year than I saw last year. I don't know if that's because I hadn't really noticed last year. But in the Solent, there's definitely more whelks about at the moment. I think possibly sea lice, sea fleas. Yeah, cuttlefish attacking the crab maybe. Yeah, it could be. But I think you'd have evidence of it being smashed, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just get like an empty shell. If a cuttlefish had a go at it, because it's got a beak in it. I think they've got like a little beak that goes in. Oh, something's been smashing the backs of your crabs off. Not always hollow. That might be what Jamie says then. That might be, because we don't get that many octopus, but we definitely get the cuttlefish. Is it cuttlefish season at the moment? Are they sort of ramping up, getting ready for the spring and breeding and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. That's quite interesting now. We've got Crabgate. We've got the crab mystery. What's going on? 46 centimetre for your bass. That's a cracking fish, isn't it? That's from Owen. And that was in shallow water as well. I think you were saying, wasn't it, with crab? That's interesting. I genuinely think a lot of people that lure fish for bass overlook the shallow water. Genuinely. So here's a couple of pictures. And it's all for just liking and sharing. So Stu the Sweet Corn Kid is coming up to film the Oban competition prize with me. So if you've never checked out Stu's channel, The Sweet Corn Kid, please do. It's the cinematography and the way he puts his films together, the way they're edited, and he's a cracking fella. He's written a couple of books. Previously, he did a lot of carp fishing, and we can't slate him for that because, you know, he's done a bit of pond dipping, but then he's seen the light and he's decided to go for the big pond in the saltwater. So if you haven't checked out Stu's channel, check that one out. The Shaky Angler, Jamie Ayres. He's commented on here, and you can see his motif on the comment section there. So if you look at the Shaky Angler, check out Jamie's channel. He's got a lovely boat, a cracking boat, but he splits his time equally between fishing the boat in the Solent and shore fishing. We recently fished Hordle together. I think he was fishing West Beach near Salesey recently. I think that's his latest video that's gone up. If you haven't checked out Jamie's channel, seriously, check that one out. And without going into all the big name stuff, you know, there's loads of channels out there, and I've actually put on my homepage, I've tried to link some of my favourites. You know, I like Fishos. I've watched, you know, Matt, the saltwater angler, as well as things like the Fish Locker. Everyone watches TA Fishing. I still watch TA Fishing. I do enjoy it. You know, Graham Pullen, he's a right old character, isn't he? He's and he showcases all his bits and pieces, and he gets out there and he gets amongst it. Obviously, John Locker is taken his channel to a different level, you know, with cinematography and editing and the captures that he's done. But if you look on my homepage, there are links to other channels, and if you want to contact me, if you feel you'd like me to add yours onto my page, if you want that, I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. I'm more than happy to help promote other channels. Just have a quick look to make sure I'm jibber jabbering, I haven't lost my track with questions and stuff. Need the camera out with the crowd. Yeah. So Steve's just, that's quite interesting. You need a camera, so you can get these cameras now, can't you? I've seen other people on other channels. They attach it to the rig, see what's happening to your crabs. Sort of like put down a teaser crab. I can't find. Jasper's got a squeaky crab. I've got a squeaky lobster here, but obviously that ain't gonna work. I was going to do a foraging video where I miraculously found that in a tyre somewhere or something. You know, I could see its whisker thing sticking out of the water. if I was chasing hits, I think I'd have to put that on channel somewhere, wouldn't I? Because that seems to get good numbers if you find lobsters. Yeah, we need to investigate what's happening to the crabs. Yeah, Owen saying fishers one at distance and one close in. Even if you're fishing bait fishing, sorry, because I need a drink. Even if you're fishing bait fishing, it doesn't hurt to put one out far and one in close. Cover the different aspects of the water. Also, you can use aspects of your rig to help search things out. So if you use a plain lead, you know, I'm a victim of this. I like a grip lead and it grips in and your rod tip bent over and you can see a slackline bite and you can see a bite, but it's not searching out any ground. So sometimes, if tide and currents allow, use a plain lead, you know, the oval shape, and it will naturally find a gully. So it will roll off of higher ground. The tide will be constantly pushing against it. It will resist it, but it will roll into, and fish sit in gullies. They sit in the lee out of the way. So this is what I've been thinking about this year. I don't do that enough. I don't search ground out. I tend to always fix lead, bang it out, smash it out. I do usually put one in quite close, and then get the old rod tip bent over, and I'm a victim of my own blooming habits, you know. You just need to swap it up. Need to swap it up, change it up, and try some new things, I think, this year, and share them. You know, if it works, I'll share it. If it doesn't work, I'll still share it. It's just it doesn't work. Steve likes Stu as well. He's a cracking fella, mate. Alan, yeah, you're absolutely right. He's a fish magnet. I won't go. Actually, yeah, you're right, because I don't know if you watch one of his films. He was fishing the Coffee Cup in Eastney. He invited me along. He got there. He rigged up. I went down and met him on the beach. This was like a year ago. Went down and met him on the beach. Said hello. He said, "Oh yeah, I've only just rigged out. I've just thrown mine out." I said, "I'll go back to the car, get my stuff." And by the time I come back, he'd had like a 12-pound undulate. So I helped him weigh that one. That's on the video. You'll see that. That's on Stu's channel. And recently, I kept promising a go out on the boat. You have to come out on the boat. You have to come out on the boat. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't got sea legs. I feel a bit seasick sometimes, and I'm not too happy about it." I said, "Well, seriously, we'll go out on the boat, and if it's too bad, we'll go somewhere else. And if it's too bad, we'll come in." He came out and he outfished me. We didn't video that one, neither of us. Genuinely didn't. I know you probably all want to see it. But Stu came out in the boat and we just had an absolute riot. We had a laugh. And spent the day mucking about, and he outfished me. He had a beautiful little spotted ray, and he hooked into the hounds first. I was using big hooks, big baits. He went, "Mine keeps getting knocked about, but it's not taking it." He downsized the hooks, downsized the baits, and started hooking into smoothouts. And like you say, he's a fish magnet. Yeah, so Stu's pretty much done the same as me. We've sort of, not collaborative, we haven't decided to do this, but solent fishing is particularly poor at the moment, and I've had a couple of sessions. I went out with my brother, I went out with Stu, I've been out with Wayne. Wayne one's been videoed. I went with Jamie, and he put his own video up, so I do make a guest appearance on Jamie's video at Hordle. So if you look at the Shaky Angler channel, his video at Hordle, that's one we fished together. So I fished with Wayne, fished with Jamie, fished with Stu, fished with my brother, and I fished on my own a couple of times. And I don't know if you might or might not appreciate this, but the filming really affects your fishing. It makes fishing so much more difficult. And I just wanted that 1 month, 5-week break where I just went fishing, where I did not rig the cameras. I did not feel the pressure of catching something or showing something, but I've got my filming mojo back now. So I don't want to scare anyone and think, "Oh, he's not doing it anymore." I am. I just wanted that little breather. So fishing with Jamie and Wayne, Stu and my brother, 4 different sessions, absolutely loved it. But then I wish I'd filmed all of them as well. So everything else gets filmed from now on. I just needed that little break, that little bit of respite. But Stu's good. He's all good. Skippy Kung Fu, SKF. Oi oi. I was wondering where you. I was actually genuinely looking through the comments, thinking, "Where's SKF gone? Have we fallen out? Does he not fancy me anymore? What's going on?" And you haven't been there, but now you're here. I'm happy now. Jamie, no, you're more than welcome, buddy. You know, if everyone just popped over on Jamie's channel and saw what he's doing, you'd subscribe and you'd watch. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Keith Wheeler, good evening. Didn't find me that cover. I haven't been cooked, mate. Yeah, I know. It's the wrong colour. I know. Good evening, Keith. We missed the updates, but fair play to you. Why not? We missed the updates. Updates. Okay. I'm not too sure what you mean there, mate. Missed the updates. Best rod, live line and reel in sand, spike, holes with four screw hooks. Anyways. Yeah, John Smith. Sounds like you've got it weighed off. Whereabouts are you fishing in, buddy? So, John Smith. Just read what your rig, your bass rod, live line and reel. Live line and reel. Yeah, okay. I know what the ones you're on about. A sand spike and a whole squid. Long pedal. Yeah. Whereabouts is that? You've teased me with what you're going to use. Now, where is it? I don't need your mark, just general area. What part of the country are you fishing in? We're getting on for an hour now, fellas, and I'm starting to get a bit croaky. It's been a pleasure. It's been a joy. So pleased for the competition winners. I've got the 4 people screenshotted, stored on the tablet. Chris and Simon, I think the names were. I've got to bring like a goldfish. I'll have to check. That's why I screenshot it, so I know I don't forget. And they're in order, so I know which order they came out in, with the 2 spares. Please get in touch with me at your earliest convenience. Instagram, Facebook. If you want to email me, it's markwilliamsseaangling@gmail.com. If you look in any of the descriptions to the videos, and I'll put it in this one as well, I'll type it up in a minute. It's usually got links to my Facebook and Instagram in there if you want to contact me that way. If you want to email me directly, if you don't do social media, I'll say it once more, markwilliamsseaangling@gmail.com. Get in touch with me as soon as you can, because we've got plans to make, we've got things to arrange. And if you decline, if you've realised or situations changed, then obviously the people that were drawn out after you, it gives them a chance to take your place, if that's what you would choose. But we hope to see you. We really, really, really would love to share this experience. Both myself and Lee, we're mad keen for other people to share this experience. And if enough people want to do the charter, then obviously give us a shout as well. So I think I'm just going to check comments once more. I think this will be the last one. County Kerry. Okay, it's a little bit far for me, that one, buddy. But yeah, I totally get what you're doing, and I'd love to have a try at that, because that's an aspect of fishing I haven't done actually. The old sand spike single rod, and I bet you get hit by some decent sized bass as well. Yeah, so sort of going to round it up then, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Congratulations to the winners. I hope you're all well. I hope the fishing improves very soon. I'm mad keen to get my next video out. We're going to run a sort of routine of shore boat workshop and then competition prize. So, yeah, mix it up. It won't be as monotonous as always in the same route and all the rest of it, but that will be the remit of the channel for this year. Lots of species, lots of marks, collaborations, fishing with other people, other channels, adventures, weekends. It's all there. It's all ready for this year. I'm really, really keen to get going and get into this year. And I look forward to spending time with you all again sometime soon. So from me, from here, for now, from the loft, I'm up in the roof. Take care. I look forward to speaking with you sometime soon. And tight lines. Let's get out there. Let's get some fishing done. Get it on camera. Share it. Improve everyone's catch rates. get some competition prizes going and get amongst it. So from me, for now, goodbye. Take care.